persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades, while the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux. To this day, the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can hit the street lights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice. We never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never care for compromise. Always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
Weekly episode of This Week in Pro Wrestling, but again, it's really not This Week in Pro Wrestling because where we have, can I say icon?
You better. You better. Yeah.
The icon Terri Runnels. How are you?
I love the 2 claps. Thank you so much.
I give you
Appreciate
5.
that.
You've got green stuff in your teeth, by the way.
I know. I know.
Is that
I know.
seaweed?
I've been begging you guys to tell me if my sushi seaweed was in my teeth.
Yeah.
And they lied to me until. But wait a second. This is more important. See this gold mic?
Yeah.
You have no idea how much attraction I have to.
This is really bad.
Wow. Wow.
Do you
Hello,
need to be alone with
Moto.
this microphone? I mean, we could get off the set.
Just kidding. Hi guys. How are you?
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Fantastic.
Hey,
Fantastic.
what you got, wait, what you got on your table? Who's promoting what?
Give the breakdown, brother.
I can't. I don't have my glasses on. Well, this is the thing that I'm afraid of because it says Weed Whacker. That's the Manscaped. I'm afraid of
Clean
that one.
Shit right
You
up,
never
dude.
know what's
Ooh.
going to happen with
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's a rumble in the jungle
Listen,
over here.
Remind me later. I have a story about that.
I will.
Okay, don't forget.
The
I
Weed
will.
Go ahead.
Whacker. Okay. This is hot sauce. Am I seeing
we
this
have a
right?
Donald Trump hot sauce.
We do. That's
Would
fantastic.
would you use that? The Donald
Would
Trump?
I?
Yes.
I used to love hot things, and now I'm so mild, it's ridiculous. I just don't do hot anymore.
Okay. Okay. What the
try to
hell's
be
what?
hot, but I
this is a
don't do hot.
Manscaped thing.
That's to oil up your weed whacker.
Yeah. This is Matt Lands. Isn't this from Jumpin' Jim Brunzell?
You know Jim Brunzell?
There's that.
What's he talking about there in his book?
Jumping.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very exciting. You know, chapter 2 is cartwheels. I don't know if you saw after we covers jumping. You know?
So far, I don't want to be paid for this because it's been too fun so far.
Yeah, there's no
so-
behaving.
Oh,
We're
wow.
not
That
Go
behaving.
ahead.
pays. Give me the money.
Go
anyway.
ahead.
Todd
Go ahead.
Gordon's
Todd
new
is
book,
God.
Todd is God.
From ECW.
How do you feel about that? Todd is God. Is that insulting to you?
Why?
Listen,
What?
here's the thing. I don't go to church anymore because my mother,
Oh, boy.
from birth until like I was 17 years of age, the minute the doors were open at the Baptist church in Live Oak, Florida, my happy ass was in there, but I wasn't happy.
Oh.
I was just like,
Forced to
That's
worship.
forgot my ribs. Anywho, so
What's wrong?
yeah, but I have such a big belief about, like, let's just say there's little Ahmad,
Okay.
and he grows up in a Muslim faith, and he's taught and trained, and everything that he knows in his fiber, in his being, is what he's been taught by his parents, his family whatsoever, right? You're telling me that one day, like, little Ahmad is going to be, like, 28, and he's going to go to heaven, and God's going to go, I'm sorry, dude, you were born into the wrong religion.
You're back to wrong
Boom.
horse?
Floor's going to open, he's going to fall through. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. The God that I love at this point, it took me a long time to get to this point, because I was taught to be in the church, don't cough, don't sneeze, wear your socks, your gloves, your, like, and if anybody ever coughed, you're like,
Right.
what the fuck are you coughing about?
Very stuffy
Oh, it was
church.
bad
What's going on
stuffy.
here?
And my mother had me there every time the doors were open. So, like, now, I am cool with the big man, and on a daily, I'm like, dude, I know him as dude.
Nice.
And yeah. And
I like
I think
that.
he respects that.
Casual relationship.
Very much so.
Very cool.
So I'm like, dude.
That's very cool.
I'm having a hard day, and I'm going to need you. So I need you to hang close. And, yeah. So that's me and God.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
so this book that's under the table, David Finkelwitz, Jesus is King. I'm not going to pull that one out.
David Finkelwitz.
Yeah. Well, the guy was Jewish. You never heard about all that? We have. Why do you keep this one up anyway? Gorp the Grappler.
you-
There you go.
Wait,
there you go. There's a
stop.
guy who asked us to promote his book, and now you make fun of.
Well, you
Gorp the
never
Grappler.
had him on. You were supposed to have him on. What happened? Wait a minute. He had the wrong horse, and he went down. Okay.
Wait, guys, here's my question.
Yeah, sure.
Are y'all librarians? Or are you like media specialists? Which is it? Because I'm
wow.
confused.
Can I give you a
Interesting.
probably more simple? We're whores. You pay us, we'll put your shit up.
What?
In fact, if someone paid
We're
us
what?
to shut up for 1 hour,
We wouldn't say a word.
we wouldn't say a word.
We'd just be
Really?
sitting here.
We'd just-
We'd be like Hannibal. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you never would be.
No, I don't think so.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
You just
Sorry.
what?
I digress.
So I have a God question for you though.
A what?
So
But wait, first,
good.
do I have seaweed in my tea?
I don't know. Let me see.
Wait, let me
It looks good from here. I can't tell
Go
though.
ahead. Go ahead.
So you have this list of sins, right? And then
I
you got,
have a list of
No,
sins?
in general, just
no,
in
I
general.
do,
Okay.
but
Right?
enough about me. Go ahead.
And God, do you believe God looks at every sin exactly the same, or do you think God ranks sins?
I think he's like, y'all dumb son of a bitches. Like, I gave y'all some, like, credence and some, like, rules and
Gave you
laws, and y'all
free will,
fucked it
look at
up. So that's the way I think God looks at us.
Huh.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck did I do wrong? Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hey, Mom, if you're listening, I didn't just use the F word.
Okay, I got what you said, but here is the question.
But just here in this room.
You go to 7-Eleven and you steal a pack of chewing gum.
Oh, you're
God
done.
forbid.
You're done.
Or you're Jeffrey Dahmer and you eat people. You both.
So it's chewing gum or people?
Right. Now,
Either way,
and
you're
both-
chewing.
both-
You're chewing
both-
either way.
You stole the gum and you're like, God, I'm really sorry. And he knows, or it knows you meant it. And I don't want to say he. Well, I don't want to say he or she because we don't know.
Then just say the Lord knows.
Okay, there you go.
Go
Thank you.
ahead, keep going.
And then Jeffrey Dahmer eats a couple of bodies, and at the end he goes,
What kind of question is
I'm
this?
sorry, and God goes, yeah, okay, I get it.
Hubba bubba.
What's my question?
Or
Are both
is it
sins
the
the
same?
same?
Is it all the same to the
Fuck
big guy?
no.
Right.
You cannot chew chewing gum and chew someone's tongue
Right. Yeah.
and
yeah, that would
expect
hurt.
to go to the same place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm down with that.
Now, let me say this. If God sent Jeffrey, because I am, y'all, listen, I listen to interrogations to fall asleep. It's ridiculous. If you looked at all of my YouTube stuff, it's like all of this graphic, horrible interrogation. And then I'm like, how do you fall asleep to interrogations? I don't know, but I do. I do.
Okay. Right.
But I feel as though, yeah, like if Jeffrey's gone now. I've heard people talk about near-death experiences. I've had one myself based on asthma. I've never said this before, ever in my entire life. But I've thought about it recently, and I remember waking up in a hotel. Should I say this? Because this is very serious.
Please do.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%. Just,
'Cause we were
can you
just
do me a favor? Get
laughing.
that stuff out between your teeth before you say it, though.
Abe, you got a toothpick?
Thank you.
Can I get a pick?
Unbelievable.
No,
But
go
listen,
ahead.
like, I don't want to. Like, I don't.
She's
wanna,
in the middle of
I
a
know.
big revelation. You're
I
worried
understand.
about the
Yeah,
seaweed.
like I've
Where
never
were you?
said this before, and I don't know that I should.
Please do.
Well, what makes you hesitate? Just go for it.
Just because I've never said it before.
Okay.
We're friends now.
You have Tito. Wait a minute. Take
What
another
was
swig.
that?
Take another swig of Tito's and
Wait
you
a
know,
minute. Did you just see that? I'm like, we're friends now. She's
She
like,
kind of
That-
laughed
that,
at
that
you.
was
She
very
kinda-
rude.
That was kind of
very
rough.
rude.
That was
I
pretty
apologize.
hurtful.
Yeah. Well, we can
Pretty
only
hurtful,
go. We
Terry,
can only
pretty
go.
hurtful.
We can only go up from there. So, what's your story?
Anywho, any hoodle doodle doos. So, wait. I need to preface it by a little story. Is that okay?
Sure, why
Absolutely.
not?
Okay. So, like, you know how females. I'm talking to all, like, this is all testosterone, and I'm trying to make a comment about a damn female. Anyway, so, like, I remember back in the day, because I'm too old to do it now.
What?
I remember.
I'm deaf when they
like,
talk loud.
I would
Go
wake
ahead.
up having, like, massive period cramps.
Okay.
And it would be like I would wake up and it was like, holy like this shit's happening to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would have these cramps, and then in my dream I'm giving birth. I would wake up and I'm like, I'm not giving birth, but I hurt, right? The other thing is, like, I have asthma. So with having asthma, you know, the rescue inhaler, I have it normally right near me. But on this particular occasion, I was in a hotel, and I will never forget it as long as I live. And that might be tomorrow, I'm not sure. But I went away, and it was this most beautiful, calm, peaceful. It was like you were just bathing in goodness, and like everything just felt beautiful. And I remember saying to God, don't take me yet because Dakota is too young. Please let me raise her. And I woke up in my hotel room and I couldn't breathe, so I did my inhaler. But I will never forget that. And I've never told I've not even told my child that. And I tell her everything. But yeah, it's like it kind of made me realize, like, the best is yet to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never experienced it before, and since I haven't.
Right.
But anyway, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. All right, go ahead. What were you
How
guys
long
talking
ago
about?
was this, if I can ask? When did this happen to you?
This was probably, what year are we in?
2023, I think.
You think?
I keep trying to think.
It's
Nothing
probably
happens.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
been a long while.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you hit some sort of spiritual crossroads.
I mean, it was just wicked that even though I'm Christian and I believe in God,
Right.
like, I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. And then when I woke up and I was gasping and I couldn't get air, it was like the way that when I saw what I'll call Jesus or God, I didn't have that problem. I was not
Right.
breathing badly or anything.
Right.
Anyway, all right, go ahead.
That's pretty wild.
Y'all know there
By
are
the way,
aliens,
Jay
right?
Jay Will out there says that if you have asthma and you don't have your inhaler, a
You're
towel full of well, I would think so. You're fucked would be my answer
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But Jay Will says a towel with honey can fix that.
Stop it, really?
That's what he says.
How
A
can it?
towel. Wait, do you?
Let me
do
make
you
sure I
wet
read
it
this
at
right.
all, or
Honey available to put on a rag and put it over your face can help.
So no water, no nothing.
No,
just
just some honey on a
towel
rag.
and some honey.
Honey on a rag.
That's very.
Sounds like suffocating to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But at least it tastes sweet while you're dying.
You're pretty
Yeah, that's
funny.
kind of.
You're pretty
no,
funny.
it did. It did to me too.
What's
it
that?
sounded like suffocating, except it tastes sweet while you're going.
I'm more
He's
concerned why there's a rag next to you.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's like it could only be dirty. You're either cleaning the house. Who knows what you're doing
I'll
with that
just
thing?
use this
That rag.
thing that I
That
can.
rag.
That rag, exactly. Hold on, let me get that rag to cure my asthma. I don't know.
Tastes like
I'm sorry.
lemon pledge.
Wait, the viscosity of a honey
Okay.
through a towel.
Wait a minute. Is this librarian stuff or a wrestling show?
Bitch, just work with me, okay?
I'm trying.
She's very
All right.
high level, man.
She is.
She is very
She really
high level.
is.
She's
Viscosity
throwing words
of
out we
honey.
never heard of.
Through a towel makes my asthmatic lungs and breathing apparatus go, fuck no. Because I would suffocate
Right.
if I was trying to breathe through that viscosity
Right.
towel.
What is Joe Will trying to do?
What
What do you say?
besides the seriousness?
Wait,
of-
whoa. Why do y'all have eyeglasses on and I don't?
I don't
So
know.
you-
Where's
I
your
told
shades?
you, you got to be ready.
What's going up?
There
Drum
you
roll.
go.
Don't fuck with me, motherfucker. I can pretend it's daylight.
There we
Go ahead.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Besides
Lovely.
that moment you just
Excellent.
discussed, which definitely was a hard moment. Do you have another time that you had asthma, like an asthma attack in a very bad situation?
I was in an oxygen tank for 7 months when I
What?
was a little girl.
Wow.
Yelp. And they would let my mom, like, they would unzip it just for her to come in and, like, hold me and touch me.
Wow.
And I was 3 years old when that happened. So, I've just dealt with it. I mean, it's much better now as an old lady. That sucks. But yeah, it's a lot better. Like 40 years ago, I could eat a peanut and go to the hospital. Or I loved the rodeo, and I would beg every year, can I please go? And my mom was like, you're going to end up in the hospital. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to get on the rodeo, see the bulls bucking and the horses. And so finally, after
One like
many
that, I'm taking
years,
you.
they got permission for me to be able to drive up. Well, I didn't drive, but to drive me up to the fence and let me watch the whole rodeo from a car where I didn't, have to smell, because horses were lethal to me.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, which is interesting. If you ever see any videos of me on horses in like Diva country, I don't know why. I never said anything to anyone. Like, I never said, like, dude, why are you putting me on a horse of all people? But they always wanted to put me on a horse. I'm like, I'm so allergic. So I would, unbeknownst to them, inhaler medicine,
Rag, honey.
like whatever. I would do the shoot, and yeah.
Did
Wow.
nervousness also bring on your asthma? Like
No.
no, not at all. So you felt comfortable being in front of all those crowds like
Yeah,
that? with
I
your
was
asthma?
just happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was definitely physical. It was not a psychiatric
So
thing.
you mentioned mom and dad a few times. Can you tell us a little bit more about mom and dad?
No.
How about them apples?
Jesus.
Can you tell us about brothers and sisters,
But-
perhaps cousins twice removed?
But wait, I can, but I was being a smart ass. Hold on. Wait, which camera's getting
You gave
me?
her the alcohol.
Is this is this my only camera?
No, you got.
No,
a
you're
couple
all
of
over the
camera
place.
shoots.
There's multiple angles. We can see
Dude,
the
am
seaweed
I
from
messing
5
with
different
your
angles.
views by sitting like this?
I mean, if you could just move a little closer.
I figured. Wait, closer to the gold mic.
Like how you were sitting before is fine.
Like go that way.
What's wrong with how she's sitting now? It looks fine. Oy, what a pain.
Oy vey, and I'm
Oy.
not Jewish. I have so many gay friends that one gay friend asked me one time, Terry, do you only have gay friends? I'm like, no, bitch. I have other friends, okay? Back off. Yeah, anyway. Is this good for you, President Lincoln?
President Lincoln.
All right, thank you, sir.
Very
By the way, the
nice.
greatest Star Trek episode ever.
That is the worst Star Trek episode ever with the Abe Lincoln. Stop.
I love that.
That was horrendous.
I would like for y'all to go through that really quickly. Let's finish that conversation.
The Abe Lincoln thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan.
Don't talk to me, y'all. I just.
Oh, you
would like-
want us
you
to
want the
just
argument
go
right
ahead?
here?
Yes,
Oh, okay, no
yes.
problem. We're good at that.
Yes,
Go ahead.
go
What?
ahead.
Very simple.
It's a terrible
greatest,
episode.
Greatest episode of all
How
time.
the hell do you come up with the Abe Lincoln episode? It's awful.
Help me.
Help me, Spock. That is the worst
Help
episode. You
me,
could have picked one
Kirk.
when there were two Kirks. One was evil, one was good. That was fantastic. You could have picked so many other ones. You picked that shitter? That is
You
a-
like the one with the stupid rock heating up.
That's the Abe Lincoln episode, idiot.
That's right, it is.
You just hung yourself. Anyway, that was quick. Next.
Hands washed.
Yeah,
done.
exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, it says here I can ask a
No,
question.
hold on.
Oh,
We're
you have
still on
more?
I want to know
She doesn't
about
want to
mom
talk
and
ab-
dad.
she doesn't
did
want-
not say that. She said she wanted to take a drink and then she would.
Oh, she was just being a wise ass. You're right. So, do you want to tell us about mom and dad or no? Nope.
So my dad
There we go.
died in 2010, and as much as I tried to, I couldn't muster a tear.
Okay.
He had brain, lung, and bone cancer, and I hadn't spoken to him in so very many years. But one day I just decided I need to get this out of me. I need to say what I need to say, and I called him out of the blue, and we were on the phone for 3 hours, and I just said, like, I wanted you to love me for me. Like, if I came home from school and had a good grade, I wanted to, like, jump in your lap and you tell me how proud you were of me. And, like, he just was not that kind of person. And so for many years, my mom was like mother and father. And without her, like, I don't even know who I would be or where I would be, because he hurt me so much. But when I came back into his life, after I think 17 years of not speaking to him, and found out he, had all these cancers, I would go and sit with him when he was getting his chemo and radiation, and whatever he told me he wanted me to cook, I would cook. Like, one day he said, I want oyster stew, and I'm like, yeah, because I make a fucking good oyster stew. I'll be back with you. So I bring it to the hospital, and I wrote on it, because everybody steals stuff. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but when you're in the hospital for a long time, and you put food in the fridge, people will eat your shit. Okay, I didn't know that, but I learned.
They do that in the studio.
Yeah.
You go in the fridge in the studio? You're brave. Okay, go ahead.
But I
God.
wrote on the big thing of oyster stew, I wrote, oyster stew made with breast milk. I was like,
Nobody touched
damn,
it, huh?
Ain't nobody gonna fuck with
Very
that
smart.
shit.
Very smart.
I was like,
Now you know what to
yeah.
put in the, now you know what to put in the fridge.
I'll
and
be
you just
honest with you. I don't
made
know
with
if
Mike's
I
breast
don't
milk.
know what I would have. I might have ate that. I
You
don't know.
might have ate that,
listen,
huh?
breast milk is the sweetest milk you'll ever taste. If you've never tasted breast milk, try it sometime.
Wow.
It's amazing.
All right.
But that's true.
There's
That's
about
very
five
true.
different
Sorry.
Oh,
no,
boy.
it's just
Y'all are too far gone. But
that's
anyway.
what exactly. That's what I'm saying. If I was 20 years old, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. You know what I mean? But it's like
Now you need skim.
exactly.
Hell, this has really got off the rails. Abe, why are you laughing? Are you okay over there?
Hey, all
This
the
is
fans
just-
are tuning in. Can't wait to hear Terry.
Skim milk. All right, that's great. Great
talking
show,
about
guys.
skim milk.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to
Well
Hannibal.
done.
Oh, he's sleeping. All right, back to us. Hey, I got a question
Hey,
here.
wait, no, I'm not finished.
Oh,
on breast
jeez.
milk.
I'm never gonna get to this question. I might as well turn the page. Go
I
ahead.
had so much breast milk that the minute I touched a boob or put my big toe in like a bath of hot water,
What?
I would just spray. So one day Dustin's like,
What is going
he's
on?
like, let's see how far you can
Nice.
spray it.
You put both feet in the hot tub, huh?
Wait a minute, it was like a
It
gun.
just went everywhere.
It was like a like what's the games American
Oh my
Ninja Warrior.
God, this
yeah,
is
he was
insane.
he was just like, okay, stand right there, don't move, and let's see how far you
All right,
can
I gotta
spray it.
ask.
Did
Was
Vince
there
know?
was there any point that like you put a target up and like tried like darts?
No, didn't try to like aim at anything.
Exactly, like
No.
try to let
Well,
you know.
I was just like, bitch, I can do like this, and it will go, pew!
Oh my God.
All the way
Man,
across.
thank God
the-
Vince
yeah.
didn't hear. I understand you can shoot breast milk. That would have been like
Yeah.
one of his
Anyway.
gimmicks for sure.
Subject change. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
please. My God.
Sorry,
All right.
sorry to devolve the situation like I did.
No devolving.
I've been de-evolving for years. It's okay. Obviously, you started in show business, I guess, with being a makeup artist. But I had to ask you, how difficult was you to not upchuck putting makeup on Larry King?
So, have you heard the story before?
No, I have not.
So I 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds.
Larry. Poor Larry.
What do you mean, poor Larry? Poor Terry.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
So I go to work for CNN in 1985, I believe.
Okay.
And that was when they were calling it Chicken Noodle News. And they were saying, like, who wants to see news 24 hours a day?
Right,
You know,
right.
fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Little did we know.
And so I was working as a lowly sweep the floor, do the laundry, wash the hair at a very high-end salon.
Okay.
A very posh salon, but my job was lowly, okay?
All right.
I was either answering phones or sweeping or cleaning toilets or whatever. So one day this anchor came in. Her name was Susan Lasovich. I love you to this day, Susan. And so I'm washing her hair in one of the basins, and I'm like, who's in charge of makeup at CNN? And she's like, oh, her name's Ramona Horton. I didn't say this to her, but this is what I thought. I'm like, great bitch. Thank you so much. I got this from here on out. Enjoy your shampoo. So, ringy-dingy-dingy. Not a cell phone. Ringy-dingy-dingy. Ramona Horton. Yes, this is she. Hi, this is Terry Boatwright. I would love to get an interview with you. She's like, I'm sorry, we're not hiring. Thank you, goodbye.
Ooh.
Well, that happened maybe 25 times in 1 month. Bitch is on it, right? She's like, I ain't gonna take no for an answer. Finally, she goes, oh my God, just come in for an interview. I'm like, we could have solved that 3 weeks ago if you would have just said those words, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I get in there, and she's like very, very harsh with me. She's like, this is Patrick Greenlaw. He's going on air right now. Do his makeup. You got 60 seconds. Do it. I jumped. I did my thing. He went out to the studio. She said, you're hired.
Nice. Nice.
But my story to the youngsters out there is, like, and I have an Oliver Stone story that is in this same vein. Please, you guys, ask me about that, because I would love to share that with young people. So, yeah, that's how I got my job at CNN. And then from working for CNN, because I was the low man on the totem pole, I did makeup for wrestling on the weekends. And then one thing led to another, and Ole Anderson wanted me to be this character. I had nothing to do with the character except for her name, which I thought Alexandra York sounded very snotty and very foo-foo-y, and so that was the only thing I had to do with that character, other than being her. I did not create her, so, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Oliver Stone.
You ready for that one?
Why not? You think I'll remember 20 minutes from now?
I know, but I'm going to be very loquacious when I start into
Loquacious. Abe! You got a thesaurus on you?
Loquacious. Can you
The
help them
hell
out?
is loquacious?
Quickly.
Abe, seriously, can you help them out?
Come on, Abe, look up the word, I dare you. He doesn't even know how to spell it, I'll bet you. Loquacious.
There's
Man,
an
that's
L in it.
rough. He's really looking it up. This is unbelievable. Hey, this show makes you
just went to
smarter, folks. Aren't you
Pornhub.
glad you tuned
Yo,
in?
You just
he
learning
went to
words.
Pornhub. I can see what he's pulling up. It's Pornhub. What
Loquacious.
category? What category?
Hey, you pulling up
Loquacious.
Pornhub during the show?
Abe, is there any seaweed on those videos
All
in
right.
their teeth?
Oliver Stone, Mr.
I know, but I want to. No, I
You
want.
want me to say it?
Yeah.
Loquacious, tending to talk a great deal.
Oh, shit.
Or talkative.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
So are you trying to say that my wife is loquacious?
Oh, Jesus.
She and I
What do
both
you want
are.
to go home tonight? What are you doing? Oh,
She and I both are very loquacious.
You are.
Wow.
Yes.
You're like twins.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
they're like
so
twins.
anyway, do I sound like
Loquacious twins.
Loquacious. You
I'm
can't
going to
even-
use that word all the time.
Loquacious.
I'm going to work tomorrow as I'm running the team. Don't be loquacious.
Everybody's
Shut
going to
your
be like,
fucking
what?
mouth.
Can you say it like that?
No, I say it very like calmly. I'm like, either I'm very loquacious or so and so is very loquacious or whatever.
So
not
it's
like-
clear. It's clear to say that you don't read
Gorp-
Grappler.
Not at the crayons in the
Because in
coloring
page
books either,
two,
I guess.
in page two, it says
What?
the cat is blue.
Meow. No, I don't think so. Todd is God. This is kind of simple too. Tell you the truth.
I bet
This
you
is
there's
kinda
not
simple,
one
too.
loquacious in that book.
Now hold on though. You must have learned a lot of fancy words being forced to be in church because there's really some serious vernacular in those books.
No,
Wow,
no. Would
look
you
what I
like to know
did.
why I know words?
Right.
My freaking fracking sister,
Frickin' frackin'. Now that's more like it. Keep going.
when I was like 13 years of age, gave me a fucking dictionary for Christmas.
Oh, what the
I will never forget
Why?
opening it up and being
I
like,
would have been pissed.
I was.
I would have thrown it back at
I
them.
was very.
Wow.
I'm like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Look what
Like,
happened.
I wanted
but
shoes.
Look what happened
But look
now.
at-
And you gave me words.
But look how
I wanted
smart
shoes.
you. Look how smart you became, though.
But here's the deal. I started reading it. Not for a spelling bee.
Right.
Just for
To absorb
education.
information.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice. Very
So
nice.
to this day, I still have that dictionary. In my,
Okay. Excellent.
All right, go ahead.
Oliver Stone.
Oh,
Yeah, but
Oliver,
this
okay.
is very loquacious.
okay,
We could
okay,
be here
okay.
for an hour. I mean,
It's very liquish.
Should we do something else in between?
By the way, Terry, as you're doing the show, as the minutes go on, your brain cells are dying at a
They're-
rapid rate. By the end of this episode,
They're gone.
You're just
oh, freaking fracking.
you're like this.
Don't I have another show to do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. You do.
You're
I
back to
can't
the main
afford
show,
that.
Yeah.
where we're not even talking about. You're going to be under the gun because Billboard put out its top 50 rock
Vocalist.
of
all
all
time.
time.
Rock
And we're
vocalist.
going to go.
I am a rock vocalist. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Did you put anything else in that that handmade vodka over
All right.
there?
No.
Oliver Stone.
I
We're
thought we were
going
gonna
to
take
get
a break
this.
between. No, we're gonna go right into Oliver.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
that.
so I've moved to Washington D.C. I'm gonna give a little Larry King prior to Oliver because it's all in the same story.
Okay.
So, Abe, am I cool the way I'm sitting, or do we need to change anything? We're
Is
good.
Larry King an android, by the way, or
He's
was he
dead,
a real
baby.
person?
He's dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Androids, yeah. He'd still be running. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sweet little holy child, born in a manger.
See? She is a rock star.
Sweet little holy one. I didn't know who you was.
You had to get her drunk. You just had to.
I'm not
Not
drunk.
drunk,
know.
dude.
I'm not drunk.
She's not even close.
That's
to
No,
the
I
drunk.
can
great
tell.
part about it. I ain't drunk.
I ain't drunk. I'll walk the line and everything.
So anywho, CNN again. I was there when it was in its inception, and then they needed me in Washington D.C. Well, that was where Larry did his show.
Okay.
So I actually had to go into the studios at 5 a.m. there, do the anchors. They had no other anchors or anybody else during the day. So I would immediately go home, and then at nighttime, I would go back in to do Larry King and any of his guests that he had, right? And so, so my first night there, I think it was, hold on, it was one of those funky preachers. Hold on, Oral Roberts.
Oh,
Oral
okay.
Roberts. So Oral is the guest, and Larry is the host, and so I go in to do a touch up on Larry, and he says, "How do you think I look?"
Jesus Christ.
And
Like a
I
mummy
s-
with spectacles.
And I said one word. I said healthy, because I was trying to come up with something
Healthy?
that wouldn't be offensive.
You look
the guy
healthy.
looked pasty as fuck, and like he was on his last leg. And
Even then!
And the only
is
word
years
I
ago.
came up with, because I was brand new. This was like my first or second
Healthy.
night. I was like, "You look healthy."
Oh, boy.
And later on, I learned that
boy.
everybody in the control room fell out of their chairs
I would've.
and were fucking like
Yeah.
just dying.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You
so
look
after
healthy.
that, I would do his makeup every night during the week, every night, and then he would be trying to eat when I was doing his makeup, and I'd be like moving like chicken fried rice off just so I could like finish his makeup and stuff. But one of the funniest things that ever happened to me with him. So when you're in a TV studio, as we are, there are edit bays, right? Edit bays, edit bays, edit bays, edit bays. And so he came in very late for the show. And so they're like, he's in edit bay 6. Go do his makeup. So I run down, because everything's live, right? I run down, and I'm trying to do his makeup. And he goes, this is so sick. And holy crap, look, I'm trying
Larry.
to have a
He's calling from the other
conversation.
side. Larry, you still look healthy. It's
Hello?
okay, buddy.
I'm in the middle of an
taking
interview.
the
Can I
call
call
live
you
on
back?
the air. What is this, J.J. Dillon?
Are you okay?
What is going on here? Well, folks, stand
What?
by. Mike, you want to argue about Star Trek for a little while until she's done?
Okay, when I finish,
mean,
I'll
we
call
always
you.
could.
Like,
Abe,
I'm
you look
live
great in
right
yellow,
now.
by the
Like,
way.
I'm
Just thought I'd
live.
mention
They're
that.
You
seeing
weren't
what we're
prepared for
doing.
this type of.
I wasn't prepared for any of this.
you
This
later.
is great.
Bye-bye.
This is like holy improv, Batman.
It is awesome.
I kind of like it.
Awesome stuff.
Are we good?
Where'd I leave off?
Well, he was eating, and you're doing all of this.
I love that y'all aren't even focusing enough that you have to go, where were we?
Well, he was eating, and you would do moving the
were moving the chicken
the
fried
pork
rice
fried
off his
rice
face.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, so
Wow, we remembered.
on
Not
this
bad.
day, he had to come in early. I forget what story was breaking,
Okay.
but he had to be in early, and he was in the edit bay. So they're like, just do his makeup in the edit bay. So I go in there, and I'm doing his makeup, and he's like, Terry, I'm sexy tired.
What'd he say?
Exactly. That's why I said it quietly, because that's what I thought was like, what the fuck? He said, Terry, I'm sexy tired. And I
Ew.
said, what in the fuck does
don't
that
feel
mean?
well. I'm not
And
liking
he
that.
said, I feel sexy, but I'm tired. Fuck me 20 days to Sunday.
So the moment has finally arrived that you knew eventually was going to come.
It
I'm
was
assuming.
rotten and
Ew.
gross.
It is now here.
But the last one was when Ted Turner wanted to do the Goodwill Games. I called Larry at his house, and I said, Lair, I really want to be the key makeup artist on for these games. He goes, I just had a dream about you on a train.
Oh, God.
Wait.
Thank God I didn't
And he's
eat
like,
before I came here.
He's like, if you'll take care of me, I'll take care of you.
Wow.
And I literally said to him, dude, fuck off, clink. And that was like way before cell phones and shit. So
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my Larry King story.
So that's the end of Larry King. Off to wrestling we go. Very nice.
On a serious note,
All right.
were you expecting this to eventually come at some point during this job?
No, because I was a little, I was raised around people that were honest and good, and if you said something, that was your word, and
Right.
you followed it. And
Right.
You must be from down south. I was going to say. Yeah. There it is.
So anyway,
I mean, is that a sexist thing though? Because, and the reason I
the
say
love of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
What is going on here?
Hello?
a lot of Star Trek stuff going on.
Is
right
there a
now.
lot of Star Trek stuff
A lot of
going
Star
on?
Trek conversation
What?
going
Wait a
on.
minute. What episode does Phil DeCesare like? That's absurd.
Phil likes.
How was Phil?
Phil likes the Megatu.
Phil, the Megatu was okay.
The Megatu's
It was pretty good.
So not to be sexist, Terry, but
Yeah.
obviously you knew you're a beautiful, are a beautiful woman, and
I
were a
appreciate
beautiful
that.
woman.
I don't agree because I have a mirror, but go ahead.
Wow.
You got
rough.
a bunch of fans that would totally disagree with you, but that's okay.
Yeah. I would think so. God.
Were you that naive that, or is it wrong for me to even think like you're in that role where you're, putting makeup on a man, and you didn't expect them to hit on you like that? Wow.
It's a
And it's really
professional-
sexist for me to think
It's a
that you should have, right? I'm
It's a
just,
professional job, and the guy's supposed to be a professional.
I remember.
I mean-
Okay, so both of my grandparents
Supposed to be.
had farms. My mom's family and my dad's family, and so we had all of the filet mignon. Like my grandmother would say in the summer, go pick me, this out of this garden and give me that. So everything was fresh, and the meat was fresh, and we butchered cows and pigs and everything. So everything was in your freezer or your refrigerator, right? I will never forget going to college the first time I went. calling my mom going, do you know how much steaks cost? Never paid, never even realized.
Wow.
Because we had two grandfathers whom, they had cattle, chickens, pigs, corn, like everything, tobacco, everything.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, I mean,
Nice.
that was such a rude awakening for me at the age of 17 to get there and go to Kroger and like go to buy myself some steak because I'm used to that, and it was like $17. Who the fuck are you? Yeah.
Right, and on top of it, the quality wasn't probably close to the
Yeah,
farm.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
I'm going to bounce into something. Documentary recently. A&E does all those documentaries
Don't make me
on
cry.
the wrestlers. I'm not. Maybe.
What?
So they recently had that Dusty Rhodes documentary. And this is how I felt. I don't know if anybody else felt that way. I'm just going to ask you the question. They seem to kind of put up or present it that the falling out between Dustin and Dusty were over you. Is that accurate, and can you elaborate on it?
Yes and no. So the way this story goes and what happened actually is, I was in wrestling before Dustin was. Most people think I got my position based upon me dating Dustin. I was in that shit way before he was. Even though his dad was in it, it was a likely, thing for him to progress to. He was still a little young punk in Texas and was not a part of it when I broke into business. So, anyway, I feel bad because I feel like this paints Dustin in a bad light, and I don't like to do that. Ask me the question again so I can try to edit it in my brain.
The way they painted the documentary is obviously Dustin has a falling out with his father, and you being the catalyst.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't think I can express this. This is something I've only told my daughter. I don't think I can express this. All right, I'm going to give you as close to 100% as possible, and the only percentage that I won't tell you is something that would hurt Dakota and Dustin at this point.
Sure.
So, yeah, when Dustin and I, the way we started was I was out in Phoenix, and I was the makeup artist. I was not yet Alexandra York. I don't think I was. Anyway, but Tony Schiavone, I forget who all was in the van that was like an extended van with extra people, not a small one. And I had been on the deck of the Hilton Phoenix drinking with Dusty and Janie. In the background is the hills of Phoenix, beautiful, like pink and blue color, it just beautiful. And Dustin pulls up in a cab with his golf clubs, and he gets out and he comes over, and I don't know what happened in me, but all of a sudden I was just like, he's kind of cute. He is kind of cute. So that night, just a few hours later, he was in the van with us. We went to go eat, and he said, I'm going to blow this pop stand, basically, and, go hang with the boys. And I said, no, you're not. You're going to stay here with me, and we're going to, have a great night. So he stayed in the van with me, and then when we came back, the first and only time I've ever had tequila was that night. And I forget how many shots of tequila I took, but I do remember this. He got me to my room. He put me under the covers, He was very kind, very gracious. He did not do anything inappropriate. And the next morning, I remember calling him and saying, I need toothpaste because I couldn't find mine. And he brought it down. And then we fly back home from Phoenix to Atlanta. And he sends me this piece of paper through several people. Like, can you pass that to the, pass that down, pass it down, pass it down. So I finally get this little document, and it says, will you go out with me on a lunch date? And so I wrote back, nope, unless you ask me personally. Hold up, send back. So he asked me out properly. Will you go to lunch with me? The day that we landed, we went to lunch together. He said, would you go to dinner with me tonight? I said, I will. Second day, lunch. Second day, dinner. Third day, he just moved in with me.
Mm.
So, yeah, so it was like a very, I mean, Dustin has grown into his skin because he's so amazing and precious and wonderful. But back then, he was just a very insecure, like I was just telling someone about like Barry Windham saying, yeah, she fucked all the boys. Fuck you. If I did that, I'll grant it to you. I'll give it to you on a silver platter. The night that I told Dustin I'm done was he came home because I didn't do TVs at all. So he came back and he said, oh my God. I told him at the beginning when we started dating who I'd been with.
Right.
And I wanted to be very honest and upfront and, this is who. And he came to my house and he goes, I can't believe you didn't tell me that you fucked Jake the Snake Roberts. I said, are you fucking kidding me? He goes, no. They told me you fucked. I said, not only haven't I not fucked Jake the Snake Roberts, I've never even met him in the flesh. I've never shaken his hand. I've never looked in his eyeballs. Fucking nothing. So you got a choice to make right here and now. Do you want to believe all this bullshit that the boys are trying to fuck you over with and like rape you with? Or do you want to believe me? He was like, okay, I believe you. And like it was so many years later before I ever even met Jake the Snake. But that just told me where Dustin's mindset and like the levels in which he was. So I think he's much wiser now. But yeah, that was a pretty shitty deal. I'm like, dude, choose. Either you trust what I've told you and whom I've been with, or you trust the boys that are fucking with you.
So do you think Dusty, who trusted the boys, was like, Dustin, what are you doing with this woman?
So we're in the Austin, Texas airport. He's brought me to meet his mom. Of course, I've already met Dusty because I'm in the business. And we had a great time. Like, it was a great visit. It was wonderful. Dustin's mom just passed in the last year, which is terrible, but she was always so funny and sweet and whatever. But we go to the airport in Austin to fly back to Atlanta. And Dustin doesn't hear this, but I do. Dustin Runnels, please go to the nearest, I don't know, what do you call the gimmicks? Like, a hotel, not a hotel, an airport.
Like a
phone where somebody needs to tell you they're there or whatever.
Like an intercom.
Yeah, anyway. So I'm like, Dustin, I think they just said your name. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, I think that they just said your name. Like, go find a phone and tell them, you're here. The minute he came back, he answered the phone. He had a conversation. The minute he came back, he looked at me. He goes, don't talk to me. I said, excuse me? Don't say a fucking word to me. I cried from Austin to Atlanta. And he said to me, he goes, my dad told me, you're after my money. And the irony is, at that moment, he had not even fucking paid an ounce of taxes. I owed no one anything. I had money in the bank. He didn't have fuck all. But yet, his dad told him, she's out for your money. So, I'm not one to back down. And, I just said, Dusty, you fucked up. You said and done the wrong thing. And, I'm here to help your son, not hurt him. But, yeah, that was, and there's a way bigger story to that as well. But, yeah.
But you confronted Dusty and said,
oh, I didn't have a problem with fucking Dusty.
Wow, look
yeah.
at you.
I
Nice.
was like, dude, I love your son. I love your son with all of my heart. I am not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to help him.
Right.
And don't you dare. And then, then he said, because I was good friends with Stan Kasten, who was the first person to ever be a manager of the Atlanta Hawks, Braves, and Thrashers. First person ever to do that. Stanley and I were great friends. And so Dusty said to Dustin, she's fucking Stan Kasten. Another one, yeah. And I was just like, dude, you gotta pick, because I can't keep doing this shit. I told you who I was with. I told you my history. And if you don't believe me, I need you to go.
So Dustin chose you.
Yes, until I didn't choose him.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Did you ever make peace with Dusty, or was it just basically like, go F yourself, or,
No,
permanently?
no.
Or?
I really appreciated the grandfather that he was to Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Dakota was his first grandchild. Dakota's son, Rowan, is his first great-grandchild.
Okay.
So I really appreciated the way that he loved her, and they had a great rapport, and that was awesome. And, I was just very thankful for that.
Did he ever apologize to you at any
No,
point and say,
no,
maybe
no.
I was off a barrel of my conduct?
Nor would he.
Interesting.
Nor would he.
How about his wife? Did she apologize for him?
Grandma Michelle, years later, was sending me some money. And this is something like most people don't know, but like when Dustin was in his darkest times, he had a property on 7 acres, and one day I got a ring at the front door, and it was that his property was in, help me, it starts with a J, help me. Somebody come with the word.
I'm trying to think.
When you can't pay your,
She got a lien?
no, it's a J, I think. It's a J.
Jeez. Well,
You have
Hey,
all the
wait,
Irene Gorp the grappler.
Yeah, and you have all the fancy words.
A-B-C-D-E-F.
Hey, you went to
What,
college.
an injunction or something? I don't know.
H-I-J-K.
That starts with an I.
L-O-N-O-P. Okay, wait.
Now I know my ABCs. What's going on here?
Wait, what's it called?
I don't know. A what?
What?
No, but thank you, Abe Lincoln. I appreciate it.
Okay, so anyway, we have this unidentified word,
So anyway,
but the
someone knocks
situation
at my
is...
door and says, we're going to take his house away from him.
Oh, just like the studio.
The only reason they did that...
You gotta be kidding me, bro. You really aren't. You know what? I have a J, jackass. Anyway, go ahead. Unbelievable.
Sorry.
I can't even...
Why'd you say that, Terry?
What did I say? What?
You know what you said.
What? What did I say?
What you just said. Don't worry about it. We'll go on.
Okay. Yeah.
Oy.
I was just laughing. Anyway.
All right, so they're taking away his house.
Yes.
Yeah. And
God,
in
order in
Florida
the court.
law at that time,
Yeah.
when I divorced him was 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to sign a document that if your spouse sold their property, you had to be notified.
Oh, a jurisdiction.
So I get a knock on my door, and
Yeah.
they're like, We're about
Judgment?
to take his
A
property.
judgment. A judgment of
I don't know.
something or other.
We're going to take his property,
Yeah.
and it was only 56,000, and I was like, okay, so let me keep him from going into freaking, what do you call it? When you lose your house? No.
Oh,
It starts with an
foreclosure.
F.
Foreclosure. Wow, I got one.
Let me save him
Not bad.
from going into foreclosure.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the meanwhile, because he hadn't been paying child support for Dakota, I thought in the meanwhile, I'll flip the house, use the funds to take care of Dakota
Yeah.
for the rest of her life.
Logical.
And
Can I just stop you on that for one second?
Of course you can.
I'm very sorry, and I don't want to harp on that, but how long wasn't he paying child support? And at any point, do you reach out to, I don't know how that goes, but like to Dusty or the mom and be like, yo, your son's
Dusty,
not
you're
even
not-
taking
you're not
care of
dealing
his
with Dusty,
child.
I
no,
mean-
no, I didn't reach out to anyone. I just sucked it up for as long as I could.
Right.
And then so I
Wow.
buy his house, and he refused to sell it to me unless I gave him $45,000 in cash.
What the hell?
So I
He
gave
owes
him
her.
$45,000 in cash, and then his dad had a $70,000 lien on the house because Turnbuckle Entertainment that he was starting. So I paid off Dusty's debt. I paid off Dustin's debt. I paid off so he didn't have to go into foreclosure. And that was like literally 2008, and the market crashed. I paid $18,000 to a contractor to get his house back in sellable condition, and like I ended up paying, I think it was 13 months of two mortgages, his and mine, and then finally I was just like, I can't keep paying, all this shit. I gotta unload this. But it was during that horrible 2008
Yeah.
time
Oh,
where
sure.
nobody
Yeah.
was buying fuck all.
Nope.
Right.
So
Nope.
yeah, this dude that had an auction, he's like, I think this would be good for you. Long story short, $45,000 was what the property went for. 45. So
Crazy.
Dakota lost every ounce of anything that her dad would support her with. I lost everything because I had been paying and renovating and doing all this stuff to the house. But this story doesn't end sad. It ends beautifully in that Dustin went to rehab, and he is more healthy now than he's ever been, and he remains very sober, and I'm proud of him. So all that shit is by the wayside.
Was it alcohol, his deal?
Well, I didn't know until the day he came to my house, and he was bawling in tears, and he's like, I gotta go somewhere, I gotta go somewhere. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? He goes, I never knew how much he drank and took a day. I had been away from him for a while. He was with his now wife, Terrell, which she's very good at taking care of him and, his business and everything. But, and I appreciate her. But yeah, it was just a sad time. It was sad. Yeah. And then I went through, it's interesting. I've always said our business will either make you or break you, but it will find that flaw in you. No matter how long it takes, it will find the flaw, and then it will penetrate you and fuck you over if you're not strong enough. So I left the business never having like drugs and alcohol be a part of my life. And then after that, it was many years later where all of a sudden I was now the person, after my stupidity with He Who Shan't Be Named that passed last year.
Uh-oh.
The year
Yep.
before
all right,
last.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, we know.
Understood.
We know what you're talking about.
Yep. So
Yep.
so like literally, I would wake up, I would drink just to go back to sleep, knowing that nothing was going to be better when I woke up again. But I would drink just to like numb the pain of him saying all this bullshit about me. So anyway,
Let me
yeah.
ask you that. Being that you're famous, beautiful woman, smart woman, obviously much smarter than you. Just saying.
Wait, he's
Much-
a pretty woman. He's a pretty
Well,
woman.
yeah.
Okay, all
He's
right.
got nice long locks.
I'm a pretty woman?
He just said that about you. I was just
She said it. I didn't.
concurring. I was just concurring.
But how difficult
I am a
is
pretty
it for you
woman,
to
thank you.
trust
I appreciate this.
and trust someone and let them into your life, considering who you are, what you've gone through? I can imagine there's been some maybe irreversible damage.
Yeah.
Could you share that?
Yeah, like, I find it interesting in this day and age. Like, I'm at the point, I have not been with anyone in many a year. And I'm
Me
not.
too, by the way. Just sharing.
Yeah,
Dude, you
Hashtag
better find some
Donna.
place to sleep tonight. You keep that up.
Hashtag Donna.
Unbelievable. This is rough. Very rough. And I'm a pretty woman, but you ain't coming home with
It's
me.
been a long time.
Ain't no way.
Damn.
Wow. Well, enough
Damn.
about you two and your
Shamalama
problems.
ding dong.
I'm outta here.
Damn.
Wow.
Should I answer the question or should
Yeah,
I let
please,
it go
please answer. I'm sorry, I ruined a tender moment.
by? No.
She's talking about New Jack. What is this tender stuff?
We don't.
Oh,
utter
you're
that
not
name.
supposed to
See,
mention
you
the
can't
name.
even remember that.
I'm a dumb pretty woman.
All right, go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
What was the question?
He forgot. It was a whole minute ago.
We all
And you call me
forgot.
dumb.
We all forgot.
Very
right?
interesting.
Irreversible damage of everything that's gone on.
Okay. Yeah. So, I just like the last time that I was really with someone was 2002,
What?
right?
What?
And I just don't trust people.
I don't blame you for that.
My
blame you for
whole
that.
thing is, it's funny. Jackie Moore has been with a guy, and I'm like, girl, wow, how'd you find that? She goes, I went on Plenty of Fish. I'm like, say what? I don't know what that is. She's like, yeah, girl, I just went on Plenty of Fish. I took my makeup off, but I went on Plenty of Fish. I'm just like, I can't do that. Like, I just can't put myself out there. And here's what's weird. Like, I want an older gentleman, like an ex-CEO, wants to travel, is intelligent, wants to have good things happen. I don't want a freaking 30-year-old. And guess what? The entire time I've been here, that's what's happened. A guy that I met 4 years ago at a wedding, at a family wedding, and we've maintained a friendship for 4 years. So yeah, I'm like, it's lovely, it's enjoyable, but I don't want to end with someone 30. I want to end with
No, you want someone with a
56.
solid life that you
Yeah.
have freedom to do things together and
Yeah.
travel and do some of the things. I totally get it. I mean,
Pamplona Running of the Bulls is one of my,
very cool.
yeah.
Listen, I think this is going so well. I want to give everybody a little bit of a break. So instead of running into the main show, let's keep.
No, let's not. I got to go to the bathroom.
You're not listening to what I'm going to say.
I'll sit in your
So,
seat.
Abe,
go
instead of running into the second show, let's continue the show. Let's run a extended amount to add so everybody can take a break, and we
Let's do
continue
whatever
on.
you guys want to do. I can shut the.
No, you're
back.
fine.
No,
We just want we want to keep this going and take a break. Got a lot of people interested. They're loving this discussion. They're actually loving me more than you, but that usually happens during the interviews.
What? Go ahead. Keep
Anyway.
going. You're on a roll.
Abe, commercial break.
Potato roll.
All right.
We'll be right back.
All right. So you got Jim Beam. Sir, Manscaped. Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So
big-
Manscaped, is a must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to go do a deed on a woman, would you rather have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to wander into that.
That's very
Thought of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
absolutely.
You're like, whoa!
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper. He's a trooper. Got to give him an A.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Man, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. Get the shit out of here.
All right, welcome back to, we're bouncing into Long Island's #1 pro
The
wrestling
world's
broadcast.
#1
there you
pro
go.
wrestling broadcast.
Rolling, where we got the great icon, most incredible person
with
we've
that.
ever met, Miss Terri Runnels.
Yeah.
Woo! That is one old bitch y'all got on your couch right now.
You know what?
God.
That is a defense mechanism. I've known
That
you for a
is.
very
That is.
short time, but that is
Yes.
a total defense mechanism.
Yes, it is.
Do you really feel old?
No,
I
she-
do.
no,
Why?
No, she doesn't. She
I
doesn't.
do.
No, I think she does.
I do.
Why? Why?
Because I'm 56.
So
babe.
what? So
And
what?
The business is all about youngsters and youth, and yeah, it's just like penetrated my brain over all these years.
Yeah, but all
So,
they do is cartwheels and flip flops. Who cares if they're younger?
No, I get.
How's
where-
that sound?
I get
You know?
I get where you're coming
Fuck
from,
'em.
right? Because it's hard getting older for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a pretty intelligent person. You know you still got the goods, right? I mean, you got people just even saying that.
You mean
right
up
now.
here or where?
No, you still got like people find you attractive and they don't find you. You're aged.
You are fucking crazy if you
Why
find
you-
it attractive.
She loves that gold mic, I'm telling you.
You ain't kidding.
Are you going to take that home with you?
I've never had a gold mic in my mouth before.
I'm so done.
This is the first one.
I can't.
I can't do the fucking thing.
Okay, go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
My next question was.
Wait a minute. I kind of like this gold mic.
Who's my audio guy? I'm sorry. Take your headphones off.
Oh, boy.
This is what I used to do on
boy.
every Diva shoot, you guys. This is exactly what I would do. So the sound guy's like right there, and they're like, okay, want you like the water splashing on you, whenever, and I'd be like, because I knew I had my audio guy, I'd be like, does this fucking look good to you? Or what? Can you
I can't wait to watch this on replay. It's going to be
Yeah.
awesome.
Might be
So
really
like I
mean.
would just whisper shit to make them laugh. So this is kind of fun for Abe Lincoln in there.
Abe's enjoying it.
Abe Lincoln.
Actually, he's not. He's a bit pissed off about
Abe,
it.
were you mad at Mom and Dad when they named you Abe? Like, I'm going to get all these Lincoln jokes the rest of my life. Were you like, what the hell?
When I was younger, yeah.
So it was.
Now I'm like,
You're good with it.
he's a good president.
He was. It didn't end well,
He
but
was
yeah.
kick-ass.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
It didn't end too well for him, but,
I honestly,
all right.
I would like to have a better name like that. Like
What's
Abe.
wrong with Mike Monty?
that's a great name.
You know what I dealt with in school. What are you
Yeah.
complaining about?
I
Are you
understand.
kidding me?
But yeah,
oh
but
my
I don't
God.
know. I would
Wait,
like.
Mike Monty is very sexy.
Oh, well, thank you.
There you go.
But I think Abe Monty would be much better.
Abe Monty?
I like Abe.
Fucking ridiculous. That sounds stupid.
Abraham Monty.
Abraham Monty.
I would grow like. Wait a minute. That's a question for you. Why does someone?
Wait. I trained a pig named Abraham Lincoln to piss and shit in a cat box. We'll talk about that next. Go ahead.
What? That's leading
How
to a
about
whole
Mordecai?
other question. I
Mordecai
have for you.
Monty. No?
Go ahead.
What is the
Mordecai?
deal with Lincoln grew the beard but like didn't have the mustache?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was unique.
Do you
You're
find that-
asking me why his ass did not shave like you wanted him to
Yeah.
shave?
Yes.
Kind of
And-
fucked
and-
up
and-
question
Hold on
is
one
that?
second. Hold on.
Is she calling the afterlife?
She's called Abe.
No, Abraham. Yeah,
Help me.
Lincoln,
Boy, 7 years
Linc, yep, OLN.
Help me,
Yep,
Abe.
yep. Can you just check on me, or check for
on
me
her.
and make sure that he's all right? I don't know what room number he's in or all that shit, but if you'll just let me know, I'll be able to, stop this
room
worrying tonight,
1865.
and it'll be all good. Okay. What, Linda? What?
Linda?
I guess she
What'd
knows
you
Abe's
say?
wife.
Did you just say fuck you? What? Linda.
Such language for
Linda.
1865.
No.
I didn't know
No. In this day and age, we don't deal with that kind of
Wow.
bullshit. You know what? I'm going to transfer you over to freaking Mikey Mike, okay? Fuck you. Here's Mikey Mike.
Wow.
Transfer.
Well, there's your answer.
We just had Terry Runnels talk to Abe Lincoln and his obnoxious
Only on
wife.
this show.
And his obnoxious wife.
Do you think his wife found him attractive with the no mustache
Well,
beard look?
6'5", probably hung like
His
a horse.
hair was always. Look, I love Abe Lincoln, great president. but
Yeah.
his hair always looked like it wasn't washed.
What are you talking about? He was all wavy and black
Yeah,
hair.
like
and
that's
stuff.
what happens when
Yeah,
you
he
don't
looked
wash
great
hair. It gets
compared to
nasty.
most presidents. Have you seen this? I can't say it. We're going to get in trouble, get suspended. Never mind. Have
All
you
right.
seen this thing right now?
What do you got
currently?
for our great guest?
What
as
do I
we
got
get this
for our
rolling again?
All right, let's go into WWE, obviously, where we remember you mostly, that great, awesome Attitude Era stuff. How about your first experience with Vince? What was it like meeting Vince for the first time?
So, Abe, should I move this toward me or it's fine? Okay.
He's killing me.
I was just wanting something oral near me. That's all I was saying.
Excellent.
But if you're okay,
and not
I'm
Oral
okay.
Roberts either, but that's okay.
Oh shit. That was one of the funniest stories. I was like getting y'all to
Did we even
remind
get
me
to
about.
Oliver Stone?
Holy shit, we didn't even go there.
I'm telling you, it's a good
All
thing
right,
one of us is
remind
keeping
me.
track of
Remind
everything.
me of Oliver Stone and
Oral Roberts?
Oral.
You got two
Oral.
O's there,
Oral
so that
Roberts.
should
I
be
got
easily
you.
enough.
I
All
got
right,
you.
go ahead.
Fucking hell.
So how about Vince? Meet Vince for
All right,
the
let's
first
go-
time.
let's-
What's that like?
Let's go to Vince. So, the way in which I came to WWF was, and I feel terrible saying this because I feel like everyone's heard it before. So then it's just like, bitch,
So tell it
why are
differently.
you
Tell it
repeating
differently.
yourself? Anyway, so Dustin's on the road, and this is back in the day where like the boys were gone 18 days, sometimes 20, not coming home to family.
Right.
So Dustin was on the road. I was downstairs in the basement. I had bought a tanning bed when I worked for Ted Turner for like $3,000. Like when I left the company, I bought that. So I'm downstairs tanning, and I'm just like, I don't know what made me think about, like, what is it that the WWF is missing? Like there's a hole there somewhere. What's the missing part? And so I just thought like Dustin's character was this old school actor. Remember at the beginning, he's
Yeah.
an actor and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And which I just found not plausible. So this is maybe 3 months after Dustin signs with Vince to do
Okay.
Goldust. And I came up with this idea to have this old school, very elegant, old school actress. I would smoke a cigar because I smoke cigars in real life. So I thought, great write-off tax-wise.
You get some free cigars. Nice.
I was like,
pretty smart.
So every single thing that there has been about Marlena was me. Everything that has been about Alexander York was not me, except
Okay.
for her name. So, but anyway, so yeah, I was in the tanning bed in our basement. Dakota's like a year and a half old. And, I don't know why. I just started like reciting stories in my brain, and they need this, they haven't done that, and so I called Dustin, and I'm like, dude, like, this is my idea, what do you think of it? And like at the time, Dakota's like a year and a half old. I don't want to go on the road, but it was just something that compelled me to think about what they were missing. So I told it to Dustin on the phone. He was on the road, and he's like, I love it. I said, okay, call Vince and like let me know what happens. Well, Dustin was scared to fucking death to call anyone in any kind of hierarchy above him. He goes, no, if you want to do this, you're going to call Vince yourself. I was like, I don't have a problem calling Vince. I don't give two shits. Vince called.
Love the phone.
All of a sudden, Pat Patterson answers.
Uh-oh.
And I said, Pat, it's Terry. And, I just came up with an idea that Dustin wanted me to express to Vince. And Pat goes, thank you very, very much. We're not interested. And clink. I'm like, dude,
Really?
Yeah. But I was like cool with that because I was like, it was just an idea that I'd had, like laying in the tanning bed, like no big deal, nothing. I mean, I
But
was
was
happy.
it honestly that quick? We're not
Yes,
into it.
yes,
Wow.
yes. But I was
Not
happy
surprised.
being a mom, And I didn't need anything else, you know? So I was fine. I was done. That was
Okay.
good, whatever. And so then in, what year? 95, I was at my grandparents' farm. You know, I'm wearing overalls. Dakota's wearing overalls. Like, Santa's coming tomorrow morning. Dad's not here, but Santa's coming and whatever. And all of a sudden, Dustin called me. He goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm here at Granny's house." He goes, "Pack your bags. They want to do your idea." Which still to this day gives me chills because every single thing that you see about Marlena was here. Nobody else ever. As much as I love Pritchard, I swear to God, I heard one of his like 7-hour podcasts on Dustin. He's like, "Yeah, Vince created Marlena." Vince didn't create fuck all of Marlena. No. He might have created his own beautiful dick to someone else, but he didn't create Marlena to me. And I love Vince, and I always will because he's been good to me. But, yeah. So, did I just get nasty? I think I
You got a little nasty.
Hey,
a
that's
little
fine.
a little wee bit.
That's
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No.
Anywho, go ahead. Next question.
All right. So Vince, well, was Vince pleased? Obviously, Vince was pleased.
So here was my thing. When I went to the ring, I said to him, either I'm going to carry a glass of wine or I'm going to carry a cigar. And he said, "Go with the cigar. But don't light it early. Light it right before you're at a gorilla."
Wow. Nice.
And then that motherfucker showed up on Cigar Aficionado.
There you go.
I'm like, "Bitch, you didn't want me to light the cigar until like right before I went out on Gorilla, but yet now you're on." Say what? Anyway.
All of Vince's issues that he had recently, he's had a great life, obviously.
Yes.
Were you surprised by that?
Yes.
Really?
Really? Okay.
I'll tell you why. He's always been very common sense, functional, like not like
Right.
Not like Larry King.
not like thank you. Very
Nailed it.
good like interlude into that conversation. Thank you. But like he just has never done that to me.
Never saw signs of it
No,
in the locker
and the
room.
weird. I'll give you another weird
Okay.
scenario. Jerry Lawler, hornier and fucked up more than anyone I know, has never ever made me feel uncomfortable in his presence, which blows my mind, knowing that I know the way his mind works.
Right.
Right.
So, like, those are two great examples of maybe other people see them this way. I just don't. You know, Vince has never harmed me. He's never made me feel like if you don't do this, you're out of a job. I mean, we all know that. We all know that if you don't do this,
Right.
you're out of a job. But it was not like a female thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Was it true that he tried to change the Marlena character into a man? I think I read that somewhere.
no.
Okay.
So, oh Lord, we're going down dangerous territory. So, what happened with the whole Brian Pillman storyline? Do you guys remember that or
Yeah,
no?
sure.
Yeah. All right. So that was to culminate, not for the fact it was my birthday, but it was just to culminate on October 5th, and we were going to renew our vows in the ring. And, you know, the fans thought I had been with Brian for 30 days. And, you know, when the preacher said, "Is there anyone here that sees any reason for these two to not be joined in marriage? Let them speak now or forever hold their peace." And then Brian was supposed to come out, top Titantron, and go, "I have a problem." And then those two, I'm in a gold wedding dress. Those two get into it, and Brian gets color, And then I fall on top of Brian and say to Dustin, while I was away from you those 30 days, I fell in love with him. I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm going to be with him. So I was going to go like way rogue, bad girl. And Dustin was going to go way girl, not. But I had just done an appearance with Luna, with Alpha in Pennsylvania. First time I'd ever met Luna, right? And so it just hit me. We were in Vince's office in New York, and it just hit me. And I said to him, Vince, let's flip this around. And instead of me being the heel, let's have Dustin be the heel with Luna. And like they hadn't even processed that. But I loved her from the moment I met her. I just thought she was great, amazing, and whatever. So that's how that got flipped on its script, so that Dustin and Luna, went out to the ring and did all their like crazy shit. So yeah.
So you mentioned Luna, who passed away. That had to be pretty difficult for you.
Horrible.
Again, I guess in this industry, you become so close as family, right? And we'll talk about Terry Funk in a minute, but I want to bring up China, right? We'll go back to another A&E documentary. I could watch that documentary all the time, but it's troublesome to me. And we were discussing this on the way over here, how people, like especially in this industry, work you over, and that one manager during the documentary just totally takes advantage of her. Where do you?
Tell me the name that you're speaking of.
There was a later on when she goes to Japan.
Michael?
I cannot remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I guess
Elizondo?
What's that?
Elizondo? Does it sound right?
Well, you had a whole bunch of things going on. You had the director.
I just think he really fucked her over. But go ahead.
Well, that's where I'm going to get to. Like, where did it go wrong with her? Where did she go sideways? She had such a promising. Forget a career.
She's just naive.
She had a promising
she seemed to
life.
Trust the wrong people all the time.
So I can answer that in like 2 seconds. Number one, on the day that happened, where she left Paul, she believed with every ounce of her being that she was going to be his wife. And she was going to be the top dog in our business. And then in one fell swoop, she found out that he was fucking Stephanie. And her world went from 100% everything's going to be great going forward to holy fucking shit. What do I do?
Shattered.
And I will never forget. We were in a locker room together, just she and I. I said, "What the fuck?" And she said to me, she goes, "Yeah, he's been fucking Stephanie." And I told Vince I was gonna fucking kill her.
Really?
Yeah. And she goes, "That's why I don't have a job anymore." I was like, fuck me. Like, that's crazy. But, I mean, I could see her pain. It was just the two of us in this little tiny room. Sorry, guys. And she just imploded. And nothing else was ever the same.
She never recovered.
Never.
Period.
Nope.
I
Which
can
is
see
so
why.
sad.
I can
Which
see
is so
why.
sad. Like Dakota,
Wow.
who flew with me every week, called her Miss. Her name for Joni, or for China, was Miss Big Joni. So she would say to me, "Mama, can I go visit Miss Big Joni?" Like, she called her Miss and that was a Dakota thing. That was not me saying to Dakota, "Call her this." She just realized that she was larger than life.
It was.
And that was Dakota's way of describing who this person was. Miss Big Joni.
So you're trying to say, though, when she left wrestling, that's where it just crumbled, though?
Yeah. Literally, in a split second. Imagine right now, somebody comes through these doors and says to you, your wife, your children are dead. Hey, you go away, whatever.
Right.
That was her world.
Yeah.
And she, in a split second,
gone.
nobody gave her time to acclimate to it.
No.
Nobody said, hey, listen, there's some stuff going on, so, start calming down. But no. Imagine the worst thing ever that you can hear coming through your ears for someone to say, your wife left you, your kids say fuck you. I mean, like, that was her world.
But you don't blame Triple H, right? I mean, he loved what
I
he
do.
loved, and he moved. Oh, you do, really? Go ahead.
I do, only in the moment where he should have been honest with her and just said, listen,
Right.
I love you, but I love her in a different way, and I need to be with her, and or vice versa. If he went to China and said that,
Right.
vice versa, just be honest.
Are you
It
telling?
doesn't hurt less.
Refreshing idea, right?
Are you telling me? Are you telling us that Triple H and Stephanie, neither one of them even had the decency to go to her afterwards and say, "Listen, I know this sucks, but nothing."
No, he was lying to her for a while, right?
Like afterwards, though. I mean, she still worked at the company for a little while, didn't she? Just a little bit, but nobody says nothing.
But listen to me.
Man, that's rude.
When you
That's
are
rude.
when you are me
Yeah.
and you're in backstage,
Yeah.
and then you hear her version and you realize why she's in such pain.
Yeah.
Because she told me, I told Vince I would kill Stephanie. So
Yeah.
no wonder
Yeah.
Vince didn't want
Yeah.
her around Stephanie. But anyway, long story short,
I got you.
she was just, Joni was, if you go way, way, way back in her heritage, she just had a hard time, and she didn't do well from a mental,
Right. Right.
Anyway, go
Right.
ahead.
I got you. I wanted to ask you, we were obviously talking about Dustin a lot tonight, and, before he became Gold Dust, he kind of had like these drab gimmicks. They were just blah. Like you said yourself when you were like, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be. What was your thoughts when the whole idea of Gold Dust came up? I mean, he's afraid to even reach out to upper management. He's got you doing that. Then he gets this character that is so over the top. What were your thoughts when you heard about Gold Dust and how this was going to go? I mean.
Okay, so this happened after he was in that match in the 18-wheeler. Somebody help me remember who the guy was that he was wrestling.
18-wheeler match?
18-wheeler.
Oh, that was one of the great matches of all time. That's the one where he was supposed to wrestle Scott Hall,
Was it
and Scott
Droke?
Hall refused to wrestle him because of the character, and they filled in with Roddy Piper.
Right.
No, this is an 18-wheeler.
Oh, the 18. Oh.
Yes.
I don't remember no
This is
Let me see if I
long
can get
before
help
he
from
goes to WWF.
Hey, look up 18-wheeler.
No,
Sorry,
the fans.
guys.
I'll ask
Sorry.
the fans.
Wheeler.
I
Does
wish
anyone know the
I wish
match?
I remembered the year, but I don't.
Oh, so you're talking WCW?
Yes,
Oh,
he got
okay.
fired for this.
Gotcha.
He got color for this, and
Okay.
Mike Graham was his agent,
Okay.
and told him to get color, and then he got fired for it.
Okay.
On March 17th, he got fired. I'll never forget it because it was.
Blacktop Bully.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well done, Davio. Well done.
Davio to the rescue.
And Phil. That's
Of
right.
course,
They chimed
Phil.
in at the same time.
Very good, fellas. Thank you, folks. Okay. So, what are you thinking? How do we get to Gold Dust, and what's your reaction? I mean, it's so different from everything else he ever did. It's not even close.
Yeah. So I remember going to the grocery store and getting milk for Dakota because she's older now, and the card didn't go through, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't feed my child. Like, this is not good. And I called my mother, and I said, I need to borrow money. And she gave it to us. But then he went to New York, and everything was different. And, they really were passionate about Gold Dust. And then I came up with my idea as well. So yeah, it was a crazy time. Here's the bad thing. Back in the day in WCW, we used to gig all the time. I have a great gig. Where's my camera?
You gigged yourself?
Is that my camera?
Wow.
Dude, can you zoom? He's like, no, I'm eating a Chiquita right now. Don't. Can you zoom on me, babe?
Yeah, I gotta go up there.
Well, go on, get up.
Y'all not educated.
Go on. Now zoom in and the forehead. Gigging. Gigging occurs in the forehead usually.
Geek.
Giggity, gig, gig, gig.
Wait, come here. I want you to feel it before you said it. Okay.
Come on, Abe.
Get on camera, Abe.
Little,
Get a little
little,
feel.
ladies and gentlemen, Abe's hand.
Abe on camera?
Abe's hand on camera.
No, I'm not shaking it. Hold on. They're very salty hands, just
Really?
so you know.
They-
Bend
You had
these
sushi?
fingers. Bend these fingers.
Abe, what are you feeling there? You got divots?
All right,
Is there like divots there?
feel.
What's the story?
You feel it?
Can you put a quarter in that?
I think I got those two.
Oh, you have those too?
Yeah, like a little divot.
Abe,
Some
you gig?
motherfucker bitched the hell out of you too?
No, I don't know.
I don't remember us
Maybe I was
making Abe
dropped on my head
gig.
when I was a kid.
Damn.
Damn, you're gigging at 5 years old,
He
dude.
gigs for at Monte and the Pharaoh. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Anywho,
Okay, so now that we've pointed out the gigging,
Yes.
okay, where were we?
we're at, God bless America.
No, in WCW, you all used to gig. I'm trying so hard to keep this on course
Beside her.
and guide her. We might as well. I mean, let's just finish
What?
the song.
Stop being so loquacious.
What are you asking me?
Stop being so vivacious.
Dude,
When did...
I'm trying
I
to
think
be
his question was,
I'm trying to be true
How
and
did-
honest, and then I have to bring in the sound guy to, touch my
I
forehead.
know.
Yeah.
What the
only
fuck?
here. Only here
Only
this
here.
happened.
Damn it.
Abe,
Go
you're
ahead.
so much more than a producer.
So how
I'm
did
telling you.
Dustin go to this gold dust? Like, how was he able to handle that?
So this 6'5" Texan
Right.
Yeah.
just attached himself and said, "This is weird as fuck,
Yeah. It
but I'm
was.
gonna make the best of it."
Wow.
So and he did, and the rest is history.
Did you
So,
think it would work when you first?
No.
I can
no,
see why.
No,
But-
especially when he went to the whole thing and saying to me, I'm gonna offer for them to give me breast implants. I said, dude, you're not gonna offer that if I'm your wife.
Yeah, thank you.
That shit ain't happening.
Wait a minute.
But let me ask you, so coming from not being able to buy Dakota milk
Yeah.
to you guys, between the both of you working there, you guys
got
had to
20
be-
cows
you
in
had
the
to be-
backyard now.
You had to
All
been
the milk you
making,
want.
you might have been
Yeah.
making crazy money at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Wow.
No.
Vince.
So at the time, I remember so vividly Pritchard saying to me backstage, "Listen, we like you as a part of him, but we don't want to hear from you. So just be quiet."
Get a load of this shit. All right.
Wait,
And in
wait,
my
he says it
mind-
just like that to you?
Exactly like
Holy
that.
shit.
And
So
in
you
my
have to have a
mind,
love.
I'm thinking, well, my husband is not a great talker like his daddy.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
in my heritage of this business, I am the mic, right?
Yeah.
I agree with this. Yep.
Anywho, so yeah, it just blew. I will never forget that moment backstage when Pritchard said that to me. Like, we
What
just
did you
want
say? What did you say?
I
to
said
him?
nothing. I honestly said nothing.
You were a good
even
soldier.
though,
By the
even
way,
though
which
I
soldier?
wanted to, I said nothing.
You're a good soldier.
But he's like, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
We don't want you to say a word. Just be quiet and follow him around.
Slap the
And
love out
that's
of that
like, I
brother.
don't know if you guys remember the Conan O'Brien experience that we were on. Yes, no. Michael, you don't.
I do not know.
Can you help him?
Conan O'Brien? No, I can't say I do either.
Oh, you
but
don't
you're asking
either.
if I actually remember Conan O'Brien. I thought that was triumphant enough that I remember him.
Look it up.
Well, what
Abe
happened?
Lincoln. Abe Lincoln. Can you look up
is great.
our appearance on?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan
Thank
O'Brien.
you, Conan. Conan.
Conan.
He's no
What
They
happened
dumped,
on
they
Conan's
dumped
no
so
limit.
much gold glitter on my eye at one point that when I got down to the last step, I was just like, I can't see. I don't know what's happening. It's crazy. You found it? Oh, look at how hard Abe is working.
He is.
He's
weird.
working hard.
He's doing overtime tonight.
I'm
love
gonna
this.
bump us up to something else. So you talked
Okay.
about this before, but I just want your personal opinion on it. You on that plane ride from hell? Jimmy and I spoke about it, and Jimmy always speaks so highly of you, how you actually kind of controlled the situation at some point.
At least you attempted to.
What were your thoughts of Ric Flair with that whole situation? Do you think that was overblown and it was okay, or did you feel, especially as a woman, like how disrespectful that could have been?
So here's the deal. Talking about this circumstance in specifics, he was himself. I know that sounds terrible, but he was himself, and I've never been offended. I've seen him naked so many times, never been offended. Never. It's the same thing as with Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler is a kinky motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he's never made me feel like come to our side and fuck with us and whatever. He's been so gracious to me. So, same thing with Rick. I've known Rick since 1986. That's a fucking long time ago.
Sure.
However, it doesn't make me feel great when one of my brethren, have a hand up some hoochie's cooch, and they're calling home going, I love you, good night. Okay, all right, I love you too. Good night. Okay. Doesn't make me happy, but I'm not going to, say something about my brethren. I just will never, give them up. But I love and appreciate all of them. And, some have this class of elegance and intuition, and some have this and that and that. And so, yeah.
Are you surprised that the plane ride from hell turned out to be such a story? We're still talking about it how many years later here?
Like forever again, right?
Yeah. It just won't go away. It's got staying power, that ride from hell.
Here's what I think. I think there are so many other plane rides from hell
There were more.
that people didn't even think about.
Are there ones that were worse that people... I'm not asking you to tell them, but are there
Let me
ones that were
finish.
worse?
Let me finish.
Okay.
That it's like you just go, toss it over your shoulder. I mean, how many people have in this day and age worked with someone that has fucked with them sexually from whatever angle? And if every single time a president or someone that was vying for president or congressman or whatever ever said to me, fuck you, and I said, no, actually, I got a video right there, fuck you, this world would be a different place.
Sure.
Would be a different
course.
place. So I have never gone on anyone as far as my brethren. I want them to sort that out betwixt themselves and their wives, family, whatever. But don't fucking tell me, that I haven't stood up for what is good and right. I will always.
Right. By the way, Abe, you did a nice job there. We're showing the picture of you with, of course, Gold Dust on Conan. Very nice there.
Terry, I'm going to take a fan question.
Yeah, one second.
Go ahead.
Little trivia on that. When they dumped that last bit of gold glitter, which was hard, it was not really powdery, it was hard core. When they poured that last bit, it all went in my eyes, and I remember thinking, I'm fucked, I can't speak, I can't do anything, whatever. So, yeah, but go back to what you were saying with him.
Snacks is asking, are you willing to speak about your arrest trying to carrying a loaded gun on a plane?
Am I willing to do what?
Carrying a loaded gun on a plane?
Oh, 1,000,000 times over. I'm ready to talk about that. So, I grew up in a very, very rural town. Um, the first memories I have of my grandfather is a pistol on the side of his bed and me being told you may not touch that. Okay? Like just those are words. There's no like hyperbole. There's no like, like tying stuff down. It's just, hey, little girl, if you touch that, you're in trouble. So I went into my life with that concept of guns. I was always taught gun safety, what to do, what not to do. Only this is good on my grandfather's part. Only kill what you need to eat. You do not kill anything that you don't need to eat, unless this character, this creature, is gonna kill you, and then you kill them first. So that was what I grew up with, and yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just so many times where it blows my mind for me and my sister. Like, my grandfather's. Okay, these are my chopsticks, right? Chopsticks. Where's my camera? Chopsticks. Um, so, like, this would be. Assume this. Assume this is a pistol, right? And it's just right here. Just right there. Just right there. And then you say, are you okay? Do you want to, like, do you feel, well, hell, that is easy to grab. So even though I learned the history of such, I also learned not to touch unless I was trying to kill someone. So that was that, and yeah. Anywho, okay. That seemed to go very deep. I'm sorry,
That
guys.
was
No,
very
that
deep.
was deep.
So
It's cool.
why do we have a loaded gun then going through the airport? Are we after so? Are we pissed at somebody?
I love it. He knows the answer, but I'll tell him. So, Mama, moi, does not do morning flights. Ever, ever, ever. However, got a call from one of my favorite brethren, and they said, can you please fly in to do a liver transplant surgery, like to make money for that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll fly early. Forget it. It's okay. Whatever. So I hadn't slept for 3 days prior to that, and I remember getting to the airport, and I remember, because I sleep beautifully on planes. It's just like, and get me on a plane, I'm gone. Well, 6:15 in the morning, 6 a.m., 6:15, somewhere along there. And I'm standing there, like, just in oblivion because I'm so exhausted. And I see one guy come over to the monitor, another guy come over to the monitor, another guy, and like, instead of me processing, just get me on the plane so I can sleep, I'm now realizing something is not going well. So then it hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, holy shit. I forgot to take my 9mm out of my carry-on bag.
Oh boy.
And so they, like, this dude, fuck him, I'd love to know who he is to this day. This dude, I'm already freaked out because the last thing I want to do is, like, fuck somebody up or whatever. He's like, bitch, you're going down. You're going to pay $10,000 and you won't get out. You're going down. He was a big, large black dude. I'm like, okay. That doesn't sound good. So then, a guy, they said to me, they said, you cannot move until we bring the police here. So I was like, okay, I'm right here. And then once the cops got there, they were so very kind and nice. And the dude said, he goes, Terry, I know who you are. Just give me a minute. Let me call my supervisor and see if I can get out of this without arresting you. So I was like, okay. But then I said, can I jump on my phone? He said, yes. I called my mother. I'm like, ah, woo. I'm like, I don't even know what's going to happen like 5 minutes from now. But what's happening right now is that I am arrested in the Tampa airport for forgetting to have my gun in my... Whew, sweet baby Jesus. So I said, I'll call you when I know something different. So, anywho, the guys were so nice. Like, they carried me through the airport without anyone seeing me. They did say to me, Terry, we have to put you in cuffs to go to the jail. I'm like, cool. Like, the only thing I knew about jail was from TV.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, so you have to have someone bail you out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do this, and then you do that. And, like, that was my only notion as to what I was facing. But this sweet lady, she was the one that transported me from the Tampa jail to the actual... No, not the Tampa jail. Tampa airport jail to Tampa regular jail. And she said to me, she goes, this is what you're going to face. Like, the minute you get there, this is what's going to happen. Because I was like, dude, I have no idea. The only thing I know about is, like, watching TV. I have no idea. So she was so sweet. She's like, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And I'm going to be there with you for this long and whatever. And I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then I asked, when I got there, I asked who the corporal was. Like, who's the person in charge of this jail? And they told me. I said, can I please have a word with him? And I said to him, I said, sir, like, the whole reason that I was flying this morning was because my friend has to have a liver transplant. So as fast as we can get through this and get me back on a plane, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. So he was really great. He would come by every so often, bend down and say, Terry, this is what's happening. You know, meanwhile, I'm sitting there with women that are, like, picking scabs. And, like, you know, they're like, like, I was just like, oh, God, what the fuck am I in for? Anyway, so he came to me. Let me preface that. He said to me, he goes, Terry, right now we're contacting all of the FBI agencies around the country to make sure that you have not committed a crime in their city, state, whatever. I said, okay, I understand that. That's fine. And then he came to me. He goes, you're not going to want to hear what I have to say to you. And my first thing was, oh, sweet Jesus, I'm going to have to spend the night with these scab-picking women that are sitting there picking scabs. Like, what?
Oh, because you were tired and forgot to take something out of your bag.
And I said, oh, my God, what? Like, what? He goes, TMZ already has your mugshot. They have your picture of your weapon. They're making a big deal about the fact that you have an open and did you hear that? Did I mess you up? Sorry.
The vultures have swooped in.
Yeah. So the whole point was, he was saying, Terry, they've got your picture and it's all on TMZ. So that was better than, like, I thought he was gonna come to me and go, girl, you're gonna have to spend the night with all these bitches that are picking scabs. Yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do. So even though it wasn't great, it was greater than what I thought.
Yeah.
So All right, guys, go.
So, towards the end of the show, Terry, I want to say what a great guest you are, what a great human being you are. So, what a pleasure to meet you. I think
Thank
it's
you.
fitting that we end the show with you discussing the passing of Terry Funk and your feelings about Terry Funk. I think that would be the best way to end this, right, Jimmy?
Sure.
Yeah. Um, if you guys allow me, yeah, we'll talk.
Your thoughts on Terry?
Nothing. I got you. I got you. I get it.
Just can't.
I get it.
I understand.
Well, we spoke about this last week, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you know, again, we're not in the business. We're just two fans. We didn't know anybody personal, but we know what Terry Funk meant to us as wrestling fans, and the kind things you heard from him.
I only got to meet him one time, and he was an absolute sweetheart. Just an absolute doll, if I could dare describe him that way.
So I could only imagine someone like Terry, who knew Terry close enough. It's hard being a wrestler, Terry, and it's hard being in the limelight, and you make these close connections. And, you know, I say this all the time. You've got your own personal family that you have to go your trials and tribulations, but in the wrestling world, in that microcosm, which is different than the world I live in, right? I'm in a work world, and I have this very loose relationship with the employees I work with. You, on the other hand, have built these close relationships. So, again, much respect to both the Rotunda family
Yeah, Wyndham.
and the Funk family. And I got to tell you, Terry, what an honor it is to have you in the studio. What an honor it is to have met you. Incredible human being. You're everything that we thought you would be and more. So thank you. Jimmy?
I can't
Whoop.
top that. Let us
Go ahead.
I honestly appreciate the fact that you are giving me the moment. Terry Funk and I go way the fuck back. And I will never forget on my birthday, October 5th, I had said to him, I want to break into movies. I want to do movies with makeup and that kind of thing. And you know, he had started doing movies at that point. And so I just said, you know, what can you give me that would help me in the future in this regard? And that day he said, let's go to dinner. And we went to the Hilton in Atlanta at the airport. And that was my birthday. And I'll never forget sending, this is way before pictures and stuff, I will never forget sending a text to my sister saying, I know you guys are all there for me for a birthday party, but I'm not going to make it, and it's because of this guy. And then the next message was from my sister, I've just looked at 1,000 wrestlers, and if I had to pick anybody out of those 1,000 wrestlers that you would be attracted to, it would be the 100, like the end of the bit. And I just said I love him with all my heart, and yeah, Like there's nothing that's gonna tear me away from him. And so that was the beginning of our friendship and our love. And yeah, so yeah. I'll shut up.
Listen, I wish, again, Davio says she's so much fun, definitely still gorgeous. And legends are born in October. She should know that.
Danke.
Jimmy?
Terry, thank you for everything. Thank you for coming down here.
I love
And
you
I'm
guys.
sure Terry's waiting for you at the Double Cross Ranch. And as a believer in Jesus, I'm talking about
In
double,
the sky.
Double Cross.
Thank
You-
you so much, baby.
You're welcome, hon. You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. And until next week,
Did I make everything sad?
Not
no,
at
I'm
all.
sorry.
Listen, you'll get your very own.
would you get rid of
Go off
this
the grappling
stupid
book.
book?
Sorry.
It's got stupid, simple words like the and
Jesus.
and in it. This is not going to work for her.
Holy crap.
We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Love you.